they've got enough guys to throw to. It's just, can the quarterback continue to grow in this offense, and can they protect him, and can he play on time? Yesterday was a magnificent day for you fellas, so I'm glad that your Dobbers are up. And dare I even say to you, Kap, can I convince you that if the Cubs win the next 2 games, all is not lost in terms of winning the division? At that point, you'd be 5 back with 124 games to go. And do you realize that the only 2 teams that are on your schedule from here to the finish line that have winning records this year are the Reds and the Mets, and neither should scare you? Can I sell you?
Still alive, yeah.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you, Kap, you're still alive if you win the next 2. These Brewers aren't going to go on another streak the way that they were the last 6 or 7 weeks. Come on, Kap. Your team can still win this.
Look, just one batter, one pitch, one out at a time. Worry about today. I had a cup of coffee. Now find a way to win a baseball game. I don't worry about tomorrow.
Yeah.
Find a way today to deal with Mizorowski.
Jonathan, you know what I do after having a cup of coffee? I find a bathroom because it usually goes right through me, and that's what I did today.
Yes, I'm really ashamed of myself. I knew there was a Waddle Wednesday. Why did not wear my tall boots when Tommy's on with that BS you just gave about you still got a chance? My God.
Come on, Jonathan. You got to prop him up to take him down, don't you?
That's true. You can't knock him down unless you can prop him up.
Keep laughing all you want. You just want good stories. My team is right there on the field.
I heard that who is that you were imitating before? Who's begging for good stories?
Well,
they know who they are.
Yes, it starts with an H and ends with an H. That's who he's talking about.
Howard Hughes?
Close. That's who he's talking about. And you need to leave those people alone.
Hulk Hogan?
Brother. Not him.
God rest his soul.
No, well, he's someplace. That is for sure. Well, I'm not sure where.
That's a conversation for another day.
I'll be glad to sit down and talk to you about that one day over a nice Chianti and fava beans.
That's it.
Glad to talk to you about it. But no, this is, if nothing else, as I always say, Tommy, baseball ramps us up for football. Yeah. So I wanted something interesting. I got interesting from the Cubs because this matchup against the Brewers. I got interesting from the White Sox just because in the second half they played much better baseball. So you see the seeds being planted. You're an old farmer, Tommy. You know about the seeds. You start planting, you wait for the crop to come up the next spring. That's what's happening with this Sox team. Same thing. So I just need interesting getting into the football season.
Yeah, and you've gotten that on the South Side. I give them a lot of credit. If they win 58, 59 games, it's hard to say that's kind of a good season. But all things considered, where they were coming from, like there finally feels like they're developing some of their guys, and there's a different vibe surrounding that team. So, yeah, on the South Side, I think the arrow is pointed up. I would say the same thing about our favorite football team, and this is the point in time, Jonathan, where I get all of the conversation. It's what fuels what is a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's the most popular and important sport in all of, American society, on that front. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, this is the part of the year where I can't wait for the regular season. Caleb stinks. Caleb's great. Caleb stinks. Caleb's great. The Bears stink. The Bears are going to be let's just get to the regular season, and then it'll all play out. But I loved what I saw on Sunday night. I don't care if it was 1s against 2s to start with. After the first 2 series, our 2s got on the field, and our backups beat the Bills' backups 31-0. And that tells you that organizationally, this thing is clicking, maybe more so than it has been. Over 500 yards of offense. Do you guys realize that collectively they ran 83 plays with 0 turnovers and 5 total penalties between their offense and their defense? They held the ball, I want to believe, for like 39 minutes. I get it. It's preseason, but for a town that is craving for a competent quarterback and above average offense, I think you got the coach that can bring that to you.
So I was up at Hallis last night.
I saw all your people up there. Yeah, the only guy that wasn't there was you.
And Kap will tell that story coming up next on a Waddle Wednesday on Kap and J Hood. True Fan Travel and ESPN Chicago are teaming up for the ultimate fan getaway to Sin City to see the Bears take on the Raiders in Las Vegas.
You get round-trip airfare, 3-night stay at Mandalay Bay, special live broadcasts and meet and greets with the full ESPN Chicago team, all-inclusive tailgate, tickets to Bears, Raiders, and more to come.
Spots are limited, so don't wait. Reserve your spot today at truefantravel.com. back to you on the video. So, Tommy, for this last game, I was telling Kap earlier, I got this whole thing screwed up about the 3 preseason games. I thought the third game was going to be insignificant and the first 2 would be. But it looks like the starters will play for the Chiefs and the Bears. So what are your expectations? Something similar or more than we saw in the Bills game from the Bears?
No, I think it'll be something similar, Jonathan. I think you'll get a couple of series and the guys will be out. I like the idea. Keep it simple, work on procedural stuff like they did. They played really clean. Not only did they make a lot of plays, they were really clean, and that was what was most exciting for me. Look, I think the gap between the last time they'll take snaps, in a legitimate game, and I'm calling a preseason game legitimate game, and then the regular season, it's like 15 days, right? Because you play on a Friday and then you're going to play on the Monday of the opening game of the season. Like, I don't think you want to go more than, that period of time, 2 weeks, without having guys in game-like situations. So I think that's important. I think the point you made earlier too, Jonathan, is very important as well. These guys are pros. Most of them have done this all, but you got to get into the routine. You got to get into the routine of travel. This will be their first away game. So you kind of you make the trip, you get ready, it's getting ready for the game on the road is different than obviously being at home. So I think it's all important, and I think you got to cross all your T's and dot all your I's to get ready for the Monday night opener against the Vikings.
So, Tommy, I was up there last night, and I talked to a few different people up there, sat down with a couple different people, and they said the vibe in the building, they've never seen it like this. They said, this guy, Ben Johnson, is a wizard, but they said he's not a jerk, but he's going to hold you accountable like they've never seen in the building. They said this is like, wow, totally different. And they said Caleb is actually embracing, like he said, we go into the hot tub room or the sauna room or this room, and there's TVs everywhere, and they have on ESPN, Fox. And he said, we laugh at how many times the headline is Caleb Williams this? Is Caleb Williams that? He said, it's unbelievable how Caleb handles it. He doesn't want the TVs turned off. Bring it on. This is what I signed up for. And he said he and Ben are in a great place. Are you getting the same vibe?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's part of the circus. He didn't come from a community college. He came from USC, where he was under the spotlight there. He was the first pick of the draft. Like, he understands. He's media savvy too, so he understands that there are going to be some that overlove you and some that overhate you, and that's just the nature of the business. In terms of the vibe in the building, like, I'm not surprised in the slightest. Like, the resume was there. You don't coordinate an offense 3 straight years as a top 5 offense in the league if you don't know what the hell you're doing. And again, I'll go back and remind people, in 2022, yeah, you had Jared Goff. Most people didn't like Jared Goff at that time, okay? But he was an experienced quarterback. There was no Jamison Williams. There was no Sam Laporta. There was no Jahmyr Gibbs. There was no David Montgomery. They averaged 437 yards and 35 points per game in the first month of the season. And by the time, and I heard you guys ask the question to him, and Ben, being the congenial guy he is, said, yeah, we went scoreless the next game and scored 7 in week 6. True. Every offense is going to ebb and flow. At the end of the year, in his first year as a coordinator, they were 4th in yards and 5th in points scored. So, the resume is there. The question was, can he command a room and can he play the role of head coach? And I think from being up there and talking to players and being around and just observing, and all of us have been around the game enough to know when someone's genuine and real and when somebody is not genuine and real. And I think you got the real deal, not just with Ben, but his entire staff.
Tommy, help us out with the back end of the roster. So that first play we saw from Tyler Scott, we go, he's going to get cut. But then he was able to show some things and pull the nose up a little bit. What about some of the guys that we saw late in the game? Do you think they have a shot like at quarterback, wide receiver, running back, the guys that you think could stick?
Yeah, I think in the secondary, Jonathan, you're going to have to keep some of these guys because nobody's healthy. Right. Like Jalen Johnson, my fingers are crossed. I hope he's healthy for week 1. Kyler Gordon, who's such a good player and plays such an important role in a defense in this era of football. You lost Smith. I haven't heard the extent of it, but it didn't look good. So, the depth was there in the secondary, and it's going to have to show up early in the season. They may be looking for guys on the waiver wire as well. The wide receiver room is filled with talent. Tyler Scott played really well against the Bills on Sunday night, but I think it's going to be a hard roster for him to make. You've got Duvernay, who you brought in. He was a Pro Bowl returner. The kid from Texas A&M, to me, has really impressed me. Ja'Day Walker. Obviously, Burden is there. Rome is there. DJ is there. That's going to be a hard and gosh, how can I forget Zacchaeus, who I think has been as steady and as impressive as any of the receivers all camp. So that's going to be that. I'm not worried about that room, Jonathan. I'm not worried about the tight end room. I'm still a little worried about left tackle and some of their depth on the offensive line. And right now, strength has become a question mark in their secondary because of some injuries. But top to bottom, this team is just so much better. They're better coached, and there's more talent there than we've seen in quite some time.
In terms of Olamide Zacchaeus, Kevin Byard told me last night, he said, Rome's had a great camp. He said DJ's a stud, and they're using him in multiple ways, including in the backfield. But he said Zacchaeus might have had the best camp of any receiver here. He said this dude is like locked in with Caleb and Ben. He said it's super cool to see.
Well, he's he's productive. He's steady. There's not a roller coaster with him. He's a pro. Do you guys realize as well, he signed a 1-year, $1.5 million contract here.
How did Washington let him walk away?
I don't know, but like crazy. That, he's got to, duplicate what we've seen in camp in the regular season, but that could turn out to be one of the bargains of the 2025 season if, in fact, they give him some run. Now, look, you got to also get Burden on the field as well, because he's shown you that when he's locked in and he's focused, he's as good a playmaker as they have on the team. So, they've got enough guys to throw to. It's just, can the quarterback continue to grow in this offense, and can they protect him, and can he play on time? Because what you saw against Buffalo, even when I think Braxton Jones got beat the one time, the ball came out so quick, the rush didn't affect the quarterback. In the NFL regular season, that's going to be Joey Bosa over across, Braxton Jones. So it'll get cooked up a notch. But, if they play on time and the ball comes out quick, you can really negate a lot of the pass rush that's coming at you. So that's what Ben means when he says, hey, you're going to get beat in this league, but you got to find a way to get beat slowly at times.
Tommy, as always, we appreciate the time.